Hi everyone, Rita Michele here with Organic Mothering. That's at www.dancingmomio.com. That's my blog, and Dancing Momio is spelled DANCINGMOMMIO. And you can view this video here at YouTube and also at the blog, and I will be having some links and things that will be shared just at the blog. So you want to go there for more information. So today I want to talk about getting here toward the back to school time, and especially for homeschoolers. I'm a homeschooling mother, married with one child, and she is a 14-year-old. A couple of her friends call her Bean as a nickname, so I'll just refer to her as Bean. And I want to talk about kind of like the summer malaise that sometimes hits us. So, we went through a school year and we were very, very busy. And then for those who do take like the typical summer break, that's the time to relax, recharge our batteries, do some planning, reevaluate things, see what we might want to change with our approach. And I always have these ideas that I'm going to have this really just relaxing break and just sink into summer. And then it just doesn't happen quite like I plan. And so I had felt, we had some weird weather. I live in Northwest Ohio, and like other areas of the country, we've been having some atypical weather. So we had this really, really crazy wet spring, and then we had this long summer drought, and now we're finally getting some rain again. And I just didn't have, I don't know, I just felt this malaise. That's the best way I can put it. And then I came across a blog post at the Daily Connoisseur. This is a blog that I follow, pretty much the only blog I regularly check in with, and I've been following this for years. It's authored by Jennifer L. Scott. She's also a book author. She has a series called the Madame Chic series of 3 books, and then she has a new book coming out sometime soon, I think, called Connoisseur Kids. And she and her husband just started homeschooling the last school year. Her husband works from home, as does my husband. So I feel like, she has very similar values to me, and I can relate to her, and she's just so real. She doesn't come across as a super mom, and that's what I love. And she shared recently her 8 tips for efficiency. So I will be linking that at my blog. And, I do recommend absolutely that you watch her video. And I think she may do some follow-up videos honing in on specific tips and talking in more depth about them. But the reason I wanted to talk about them is that I think sometimes we'll look at something like that and think, I could never do that. Well, she can do that because ... but I can't do that because of, my circumstances. And maybe you just come up with a list of excuses. And so something that could benefit you and that you could adapt to your particular situation, to your family's lifestyle, to your own personality, we just disregard it because I can't do that. So I'm not going to share all 7 of her tips in this one video. I'll probably do a short series and just reflect upon my thoughts and how I might apply it to myself. And then you can reflect also upon how this might work for you with some adaptations. If you can't do it just like Jennifer, so what? Hers is one way of doing things. So her first tip was wake up before your family. Wake up before your family. And I had actually posted these tips in a Facebook group. And someone said, well, I can't do this because I have a baby or whatever. This isn't, like the idea being this isn't really realistic. And Jennifer says in her video, because she's pregnant, that when her baby comes, she's not going to worry about this, okay? She's not going to worry about getting up earlier than her family. She's going to be concerned with just getting enough sleep, getting as much sleep as she can. So, it's not like where you need to be a martyr or a supermom, superwoman to be able to do any of these things. You have to look at your own season of life and what can you do. right where you are. So waking up before her family in her case means she wakes up at 5:30. To me, that's the middle of the night. That doesn't work for me. I'm not an early morning person. I don't function well. Even if I got like 8 solid great hours of sleep, if I woke up at 5:30, I'd be tired. If I got the same 8 great hours of sleep and woke up at 8, I'd be in much better condition. So, and she has 3 whole hours before the rest of her family wakes up. But her recommendation is try to wake up 45 minutes to an hour before the rest of your family. So that seems more realistic and that seems more doable. And in my case, because I have such a small family, I don't have that many people to work around. But because my husband works at home and he doesn't have a consistent sleep schedule, I can't really plan, well, I can wake up at this time and have an hour to myself before he wakes up. Because he might wake up before that. He might not. I might get 2 hours. Who knows? I don't have any problem with getting up before my teenage child. That's kind of like a given. I'm always up before her. So I can definitely wake up before her. Can't necessarily wake up before my husband because I don't know, from day to day when he's going to wake up. So it's not like he gets up, goes off to work, and I have a couple hours before Bean wakes up. So what I'm thinking that I'm going to do is kind of apply this in tandem with another of her tips, which is embrace schedules and routines. Now, many people are like me, and many of them are homeschoolers, who are kind of averse to the whole routine thing. Like, we are, free spirits. We want to not have to, we make plans, sure, but we don't want to plan out our whole day. We don't want to be like Holly Pierlot wrote a book. She's a Catholic homeschooling mother who wrote a book called, what is that book? Oh no. Okay, Holly Pierrot wrote a book in which she mirrored her routines on the a mother's rule of life, religious rule. So like, monks or nuns have in monasteries, they have a rule of life and they have a very set routine to their days. And the whole day, they know what's going to be going on the whole day. And so she set up like every 15 minutes of her day. She knew what she was going to be doing every 15 minutes and on the weekends. And like she had a mom's day out every other Saturday or something like that. And her ideas are good. It's just that I don't want to schedule every 15 minutes of my day. I would prefer to work with larger blocks of time. And I've looked at the Fly Lady's technique. Fly Lady, I forget her real name, but she pretty much goes by Fly Lady. And she wrote a book called Sync Reflections. And she helps readers to develop routines. And starting with, you set up your morning routine. And it's really geared towards stay-at-home moms because we have this freedom. And sometimes because we don't, aren't so bound to routines because we don't work outside the home or we only work part-time maybe. Like I teach dance classes part-time. So, and my child has had various outside activities and of course that we work around and we go to mass and my dogs are barking, I'm sorry. There's probably somebody they can see outside and they're freaking out. Anyway, I might have to close the door. Hold on. Well, it looks like they have returned from the pool. So my family, I thought I was going to have enough time to do this. But so I'm just going to leave you with encouraging you to set a morning routine and an evening routine and figure out when you want to go to bed, how much sleep you need, what time you want to wake up, and just start with a consistent sleep routine, not based on, necessarily trying to wake up before anyone else. Doing that if you can, if that's an option. But just starting out with the morning routine and the evening routine for consistent sleep. And then we'll get back to this another time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.